So I wanted to talk briefly about another resource that's available to us in the studio. I've been an avid book collector for a lot of years, and I've gained a lot of inspiration by studying works by some of the masters of landscape from the past. I've got a small handful here, a few of some of my all-time favorite winter painters. There's John F. Carlson, Aldro Hibbard. Both of these painters were East Coast. The book I have in my hand now is by Willard Metcalf. He was an East Coast painter. Sometimes while you're in your studio and you're maybe contemplating a piece you've just worked on and you're trying to gain a little more insight or inspiration, in addition to looking at the field works and looking at our painting, sometimes it's helpful to just peruse through the art books and get a feeling for how they would have tackled a subject, how they would, how their eyes saw things. And I've gained a lot of inspiration by studying the works from past masters and some of the living masters of today as well. I definitely, find it helpful to sit and look through the books, kind of just gleaming ideas. Sometimes we just sort of run out of one short on how we're seeing things, and this is a great way to rejuvenate our ideas in the studio. Often I don't have books out on location for me because the nature itself is so inspiring, but in the studio, it helps to look at how others would have handled subjects and what color choices they might have made, and you can kind of use that with your own experience in terms of what you're seeing in the colors of your local vicinity. One of the things I always found interesting when I was, still do, but when I was especially a younger artist starting and I had the opportunity to visit with professional painters, was to kind of notice their art library. And, I was always sort of chomping at the bits to get to their library and see which books they had in their collection, books that I might be able to add to my collection of books. I've found them to be a valuable source of inspiration for studio work as well as what I do outdoors, and it continues to bring me inspiration. Sometimes when the inspiration isn't there, I might sit and peruse through an art book for a while, and I could feel the excitement well up in me, and then next thing you know, I'm just anxious to get to my piece again on the easel. I wanted to talk about my work indoors. I've been a plein air painter for years, and I find that to be an invaluable way of working. It's led me to come up with colors I would have never imagined. I can explore the world with my own eyes, and I can get essentially all the senses are touched when I'm outdoors. And that all gets into my field work. I have about 150 colors in the field, and then in the studio, it's much more elaborate. There's probably closer to 500 colors here. So my range of value and color choices is much broader in the studio. What I like to do is I keep these sketches within view when I'm in the studio because I refer to them. I find them invaluable, so I like to kind of look through them, essentially things that I have done in the past, anything I can kind of use to help guide this painting, I'll use it. When I come indoors, essentially what I'm doing is I'm trying to enhance that experience. I'll take my field works, what I've tried to capture on the spot, and I'll look at them and I'll say, how can I express that feeling to the viewer much more profoundly?